And welcome back. We are back. It's been a little bit since we've done this. My football season is over. Now it's my turn to just talk about it and enjoy the game of football. I am Matt, the MATT, whatever you want to call me at that point. And again, riding with me on a Friday afternoon, as always, is my big broski, huge pop himself, Scott.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
So we're going to talk a little bit about NCAA football, what's going on. We're going to run down the top 25. We're going to give our picks for that. The NFL, we're going to talk about standings, the news of the week, and make our predictions on the games for the week, and then just kind of give our shout outs and our stuff going forward. So it's your normal run of the mill sports podcast, and it's two brothers talking sports.
There you go. Hello.
So NCAA football it is. Let's dive right into that. Top 25. Let's see here. Just go right into that here. The rankings. We're not going to go. Oh, I guess we can. 25 is Navy. 24 is our beloved Michigan Wolverines after taking another L to Washington. That was embarrassing. Army. They're 6-0. How are they 6-0? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Illinois, the team that the Michigan plays this weekend, they're at 22. SMU sitting strong at 21. Pitt is 20. Missouri, they're 19. Ole Miss sitting at 18. Kansas State, 5-1 at 17. An undefeated Indiana Hoosier team who is playing in the Big Ten game of the week. Is 6-0, 16. Boise State, 15. Texas A&M, 14. 13 is BYU. 12 is Notre Dame. 11 is Tennessee. Now, 12 through 1, in theory, will get playoff spots.
Right.
In theory. So Notre Dame, if the playoffs started right now, Notre Dame's in. Tennessee's in. Barely in. Clemson, sitting at 10. They're in. Iowa State, they're in at 9. Number 8, LSU. That would be the second SEC school. At 7, we have Bama. That's your third SEC school. The University of Miami, 6-0 at 6. They're firmly in the playoff spot.
Yep.
Georgia, at 5. That's your fourth SEC school. This is where I chuckle now. Ohio State sitting at 4. That's your Big Ten. Penn State sitting at 3, Big Ten. Oregon sitting at 2. That's the Big Ten. And Texas at 1. So 3 of the top 4 teams in the country are from the Big Ten.
There you go. Let's go Michigan. Captain Rafuccio. What's up, man? Captain Raf, how you doing?
So again, it'll be interesting going forward now that we're kind of seeing the top 12 teams every week. And so going forward, we're going to just break down who's in the top 12 as far as rankings are concerned.
So, Captain, if on Captain YouTube, Raf is on the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your people about us. We're trying to build a community so we can bring bigger guests and like just said, we have some big opportunities, but the cost is just out of our league. So sorry to interrupt, Matt.
No, you're fine. What do you think about that top 25 this week?
All I gotta say is it shows that the Big Ten is now showing themselves as the better conference. I mean, I get it. SEC has 4, we have 3, but we're top 3, we're top 4, top 5, and I'm pretty proud of that. And no, Michigan's not there, and they probably won't be there. But Big Ten's being represented really well. So I like that top 5.
Okay. Let's take a look now. We have our picks. This week's our picks in the ACC. We have the number 12, the last team in the playoffs right now. Notre Dame traveling to Georgia Tech to take on the Yellow Jackets from Georgia Tech. And Notre Dame is a 9.5-point favorite to win that ball game.
I'm gonna have to go with the Notre Dame. Growing up as a kid watching, you hated the Michigan U of M game against Notre Dame. You hated that game, but you loved it because that was so cool. They've been showing themselves as a good team, good program, and I'm gonna say Notre Dame's gonna cover that, and they're gonna win by at least 10.
Now, the one loss Notre Dame has on the season is to a MAC school. Northern Illinois beat them in South Bend. It's a 3:30 start on ESPN. It's going to be a tight game. Georgia Tech's losses. Let's take a look here. Georgia Tech's losses came on the road. Both of them. One of them got blown out against Louisville, and then one was by 3 points on the road at Syracuse. And that was last week. No, last week they beat a good team on the road against UNC. I know it's going to sound like I'm really. I'm. It's kind of a coin flip game for me. I'll go Notre Dame. But I think Georgia Tech has an opportunity to make a statement.
Yeah, they do, and I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong. But I just think Notre Dame will cover it. But I can see where they could probably lose.
Sure. I think that they are Georgia Tech made their statement against Florida State earlier in the season, but Florida State got exposed for being a junk team. That team makes that team's hot garbage. That team is 100% trash.
That I don't understand. I do not understand what's going on up there. I mean, I don't know. That's just it's shocking to me to see what's going on.
So we both took Notre Dame on that one. Hold on, I got a circle. We're heading to the Big 12. We have two teams that are the only reason I took this game. I could have taken a team, a game that had a little bit more of a playoff implication kind of thing. But I picked this game because it had the closest spread possible. It's a 2.5. Arizona is favored in this game by 2.5. They're home. They're 3-3 against Colorado.
3-3, huh?
3-3 against 4-2. Arizona's a good football team. They really are.
Right.
That being said,
dude, you know who I'm gonna go for. I'll lose this game. I'll lose this bet every day. I love Deion Sanders. I love what he's doing for football. I love what he's brought, where he's brought places. I am gonna go Colorado by 2.
well, this is where we're going to differ this week. I'm going to take Zona. I'm going to take the Wildcats. They're at home, and I think Rich Rodriguez is their head coach.
Oh, Richie boy.
Let's go, Rich Rod. Give me Zona. So yeah, I'm gonna take Arizona. Next up, we have the Big Ten, the other Big Ten game, because we pick the Michigan game every week. The next one has, in my opinion, it's the Big Ten game of the week. Let's touch on the game that's tonight. Chilo, I'm sorry, but your 1-5 per don'ts have no shot against Oregon. I'm just saying, no shot.
Remind yourself of how bad the Chicago White Sox looked. Yeah,
no shot, bro. No
for
shot.
For didn't, for can't. I don't care how you say it. Nope.
Per don't even show up for the game, because it ain't gonna be one.
No, I mean, if Oregon doesn't blow them out, I don't know, man.
I will say this. The only thing Purdue has a chance at winning is the coin toss. And that's even a 50-50.
Yeah, no,
but anyway, that's not the game we're picking. We're picking Dylan Raiola and his Nebraska Cornhuskers travel to Bloomington to take on the number 16 ranked Indiana Hoosiers. This is great for football. Great for football. Yep. Great for Big Ten to have multiple undefeated teams and multiple teams in the top 25. Indiana is a 6.5 point favorites. Indiana 6.5 points favorites, and Bloomington's going to be rocking. Hoosierville is going to be just going nuts. But give me Nebraska. Nebraska wins. Dylan Raiola will go nuts. He will channel his inner Patrick Mahomes and dominate this game. Nebraska by a score.
We'll differ. Facts. Red zone. Hoosiers' offense success has come. We're in the scoring position, ranking 29th in college football, with 92% success rate. 81% of those were scores. 30 of 34 being touchdowns. Sorry, Matt. Nebraska's going to pack their bags. They're going to lose. They're losing by 14 points.
Now, I'm going to say this to not argue, but you just stated facts. Those are amazing facts. Those stats are very good. Indiana has played Florida International, Western Illinois, UCLA, Charlotte, Maryland, and Northwestern. Not necessarily football powerhouses. Nebraska has played UTEP, beat your Colorado Buffaloes quite handedly. Northern Iowa, they lost in overtime to a game that they gave away to Illinois. Beat Purdue and beat Rutgers. Their one loss to an Illinois team who's in the top 25. They, at the time, have played 2 top 25 schools and split with them.
Sure. Still going to Indiana.
So Indiana hasn't played anybody. So Nebraska would have those same stats and the same record had they played that same schedule. And that is another reason why I'm taking the Cornhuskers.
Okay. Take your cornrows.
Next up, we have the Mountain West Conference. Typically, I throw Wyoming in this game because I'm a big Wyoming fan. But this week, we have a very interesting. This is a 6.5 point spread as well. It is Oregon State playing host to UNLV. UNLV is a one-loss program that is better than that one loss that they have. They should be 6-0.
Right.
They're on the road against a Oregon State team that isn't necessarily great. They lost their head coach last year. He's now at Michigan State. UNLV is favored by 6.5 on the road. Double it, they win by 14.
UNLV and Oregon State. Gosh, I don't know nothing about those two teams, so I'll be honest there. So I'm gonna pick it like I'd pick a horse race. But based off your stats that you just said, I'm gonna go with the orange, the orange and black. I'm gonna pick Oregon State. Aren't they the Beavers?
Yeah.
I'll pick the Beavers. Just because.
Now, this next one, we have 2 games. Guys, we have 2 games from the SEC this week. It was hard to pick which one should be the game of the week. So, this one just happens to be the game that both teams, this is playoff implications. This right here can potentially send one of the teams out of the playoff contention and be done. Potentially. It's a 3-point spread. Alabama heads to Knoxville, Tennessee. Is that where
Yeah, yes. It's in no, it's not. Where are the Vols from?
Is it Knoxville? I thought they were from Knoxville.
What town do the Tennessee Vols play?
Yeah, it's in Knoxville.
Yeah.
It's Knoxville.
Yep.
Neyland Stadium will be rocking. Good old Rocky Top.
Yep.
It's hard to pick against Bama. It's a coin flip for me. I know it's going to be a great game. The game's at 3:30 in the afternoon. Give me Tennessee to win that ball game. They have a lot to prove. I think they're a very good team. And I think they win that ball game. I think Tennessee pulls it out and wins.
So now aren't they both 6-1?
They're both 5-1.
5-1.
Tennessee's one loss came to Arkansas.
Bama lost.
Bama's one loss came to Vanderbilt, and they almost lost to South Carolina last week.
All right, so here we go. Because I live where I live, I get a chance to watch these assholes from Alabama all the time. They should have lost last week. They lost to Vanderbilt. There's another game they played that they had no business winning. Alabama fans, this is why. And this is why I hate the playoff. I hate everything. Tennessee's going to roll you guys. That's giving you your second loss. They ought to be done. It's just plain and simple. A 2-loss team. I mean, I'll probably catch shit from this about Michigan. They've lost their 2. They're done. There's no way. They don't deserve it. If they get in if there's Bama's going to lose, and I hope to God this puts them out of the contention of the playoffs and be done. Bama loses by 10. Go Vols.
I mean, I'd be all right with Tennessee winning.
I mean,
orange is one of my favorite colors, so let's go.
Go Vols.
Moving on to the boys that I work for, the guys that I'm around each and every last day of the work week. We got the CMU game. They are forever the MAC game of the week. And we have a 3.5 point. We're 3.5 point dogs going into Eastern this weekend. It's a rivalry game. We're on the road starting at 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus. I'll be watching that game for sure. So CMU on the road at Eastern. Who do we got? I think you know who I'm taking.
Yeah, I think I know. Yeah. You know, and it's one of those games. I love MAC football because they play their hearts out, you know, and I'm going to go Chips. Why not?
Fire up Chips.
Fire up Chips.
Now we go to our Michigan game. We typically pick this one last, but we have to talk about the game of the week coming up. Michigan travels to Champaign to take on the Illinois Fighting Illini. In that game, Michigan is actually 3.5 point favorites for that. That game is 3:30 on CBS or Paramount Plus, wherever you stream your football on game days. Again, number 24 Michigan at number 22 Illinois, and Illinois' one loss came at the hands of Penn State, 21-1 or 21-7, number 9 Penn State. So
that's wild. No, that can't be right.
We're 3.5 points.
If I'm reading this right, Illinois should have no business coming close to our rebuilding Michigan Wolverines.
Oh, we should dog walk this team, in theory.
Hold up, I gotta look up. I'm just baffled by if this is facts. I'm just baffled by this. Who we play? Illinois, right?
Illinois, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Facts. Illinois, I'm going to go right back to dog walking my best friend, Sheila. Purdue gave up 46 points and 239 yards in the second half against Purdue. Illinois gave up that against Purdue. Purdue scored 49 points in the second half in their game against Illinois.
Oh, they almost beat Illinois last week.
Yes.
Oh,
and
that's
and 49 of them points. Listen to me. 46 came in the second half.
And in overtime.
Michigan, if you don't beat these guys, these cats, I don't know what to say. Michigan
Where was that? Oh, and that was at home. That was in Illinois.
Yeah, dude.
That was in Champaign.
This is a no-brainer, man.
We gotta go.
They cover the spread by about 30.
I'm not gonna say we're gonna win. We're gonna win, but in Michigan fashion, we're going to go up. We're gonna choke a little bit. I think we're gonna get up big and then go up.
If Michigan don't win by 2 scores, there's a problem in Michigan.
We got to win by at least 10, maybe.
Yeah.
At least 14 points.
Yep. You gotta start impressing people to move up that ladder. Michigan by 10.
Game of the week, people. The game of the week is massive. It is a showdown of epic proportions, and it's an SEC battle. It is number 5, Georgia Bulldogs, traveling to Austin, Texas to take on the University of Texas Longhorns. Texas is 4.5-point favorites. Only a 4.5-point favorite to win that ball game. Georgia's one loss on the season came in a just epic game against Alabama. They lost 41-34. They fought and clawed back into that game after going down 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. They just didn't. If they didn't go down so early, so early, they would have won that ball game against Alabama. 4.5 points. They were in Bama, one of the hardest places to play. On the other side of the ball, Quinn Ewers is back on under center. He's playing phenomenal. He is playing like the Heisman candidate he is. Last week against let's take a look at who they played last week against Oklahoma. Dude balled out. They won 34-3. Give me Georgia.
What fucking kind of crack are you on? What?
Give me Georgia. Who's that coming down the track? The Mean Machine in the red and black.
Nah.
Gotta go Georgia.
Mark the timestamp this. Your national champions will win this game.
Yeah, it's Georgia.
Go Texas Longhorns. You gotta. There's no way. How in the hell? No. Georgia, the problem with Georgia is, like you said against Alabama, they found themselves in a hole real quick. And against Alabama, you can't do that. You definitely can't do that against the Longhorns. There's no way. Texas Longhorns by 14. Go Natties. And I'm buying that shirt.
Well, that concludes our college. And we got a lot of differing. I think we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 games this week that we are completely on different sides, and that's what makes this fun. So
thank you for watching on Twitch, Malik, the wrestling. I'm sorry if you picked Georgia. I'm sorry, but Texas will win.
So we're looking at our NFL games of the week. Or not games of the week, but we're going to pick all the all the NFL games. It's going to be kind of a quick little boom boom. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the standings. Let's take a look at our standings, and you'll get to see what's going on. Buffalo winning theirs. That's Cody's team. They're running away from the AFC East. Heel Kevin, if you're out there watching this at all, your Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers just banging it out in the AFC North. That's a great division as well. Two really solid teams battling for the first place in that division. The AFC South, we got it. It's ran by Houston. We said that. We said that was going to happen. Houston is going to win that division because the AFC South is like playing the JV squads. And the only undefeated team that's left in the AFC, Kansas City, is running away from the AFC West again. We knew that was going to happen. We got a couple surprises on the NFC side. We have Washington, a game up on Philly in first place. When was the last time the Commanders were in first place in that division? When they were the Redskins.
Right.
They're playing well. Detroit is one game behind the Minnesota Vikings, who are just playing insane behind what's their quarterback's name? Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold playing amazing, having a rejuvenating his career. Yep. NFC South, we have a battle there. We have the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, both tied for first in that division. Atlanta, they were down. They add Kirk Cousins, and all of a sudden they're a playoff caliber team. It tells you how good Kirk Cousins really is. And then in the NFC West, again, it's anyone's ball game out there except for the LA Rams. With all those injuries, 1-4. Sorry, Matt Stafford, you're not heading back to the playoffs anytime soon. But San Francisco and Seattle, they're battling it out at 3-3. So that's the quick rundown of the divisions and how things are shaking out there. So let's get into our early games. Let's start with the game that we would have picked from last night. The Broncos beating the Saints 33-10. No one had that on their bingo card. I promise you. That was nuts. That was nuts.
I would have picked the Saints.
I would have picked the Saints too, all day long.
Yeah, absolutely.
But starting with the game of the week, in my opinion, we have the Vikings at home against the Lions. The Vikings are only favored by 1.5.
Of course, I'll let you go first.
Of course, we're dealing with a defense that is missing a key piece on our defensive side of the ball, with Aiden Hutchinson being done for the rest of the season, a broken tibia. Prayers go out to him and for a speedy recovery. We'll see you in 25, Hutch. Thank you thank you, and hope and prayers and much love to you, and hope you get back out there as soon as you can. That being said, we're not just one player. No. We play as a team. We play defense very well as a team. And I'm going the Lions by 3. I think we win because our field goal kicker, if inside of 50 yards, or he's kicked 70-yarders in the XFL. So I can goddamn tell you that he can kick a 60-yarder to win a ball game in a dome. So give me the Lions by at least 3, or at 3, maybe 7, but they're going to win the ball game.
Right. I'm going to mimic what Matt said. Hutch is gone. Hutch is a great player. But if you watch the tail end of that, I know we were playing the Trash Boys last week, but and that was a pretty solid. But the defense stepped up. If you notice that, what happened when Hutch went down, that team shifted to a different level, and they played for their guy. And I don't see any, and and it's awesome to see the locker room after that game handing out game balls. And the team turned around and gave coach a game ball back. Why? Because that guy knows what the hell he's doing, right? I'm telling you, with at the level that Goff is playing and at the level that defense is playing, yeah, Hudson's going to be missed, but the Vikings quarterback is going to be in trouble. They still got guys that can do what Hutch does. They play as a team. They win as a team. Lions by 10.
Good pick. Good pick. Now, I forgot there's a morning game for you guys who get up before noon on a Sunday to watch football. Me personally, it's a 1-5 Patriots taking on the 1-5 Jags. So who gives a shit? Jags are favored by 6. Don't care. I'll take the Jags because I hate the Patriots.
Same. That's the only reason why I'm taking the Jags. I hate the Patriots. So,
moving from there to the next 1 o'clock ball game, it's the Bills at home against the Titans. The Bills are 8.5-point favorites. The Titans suck big donkey dong. I would be the dumbest individual on the face of the planet if I didn't take the Bills. The Bills win by at least 2 scores. I have Josh Allen on my fantasy team. He needs to go fucking bonkers.
So, Cody Cornett, he's out here, right?
He calls the Patriots Jags the NFL's crown jewel.
Yeah. I have just found out that Cody likes D. So the Bills play defense. So I'm going to go Bills all day long over the Titans. I'm just going to leave it right there. I wonder what Nikki would pick.
The next game on the docket is a 1 o'clock start in Lambeau Field in the great state or the great city of Green Bay, Wisconsin. You have the 4-2 Green Bay Packers taking on the 5-1 Texans from Houston. Green Bay's 2.5-point favorites. Give me Green Bay winning that ball game. The Texans are really banged up right now on offense. Nico Collins is out. Stephon Diggs, the guy who they traded for from Buffalo, there's a reason Buffalo got rid of him. He's playing like a puss. So yeah, we're just gonna say go ahead and take Green Bay. And CJ Stroud's a hell of a quarterback. MVP candidate. But I think going to Green Bay, you got to play better than the way that they do play. I think Green Bay the last 3 weeks have been playing very well since Jordan Love's returned. And I'm going to go Green Bay winning by 7. They win by a score.
As much as it pains me, no, don't. I've said it before. I don't like Green Bay Packers. I mean, I get it. The Packers are being great. Jordan Love's amazing. But my problem with Jordan Love, it seems like he's always, and he gets the job done. I don't know why. I don't know how. But as he's falling on his back, he just makes these crazy, stupid plays. I don't think he can do that against this Texans defense. CJ Stroud's too good. I'm gonna say Texans by a score. No more Lambo. No Lambo jumping for no. Texas by a score.
Okay. Next up, we have Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles. Go back to where Saquon played before, in going to New Jersey to play the New York Football Giants at MetLife. Phillies 3-point dogs, or not 3-point dogs, but 3-point favorites on this one. Here's my thing. Philly's coaching situation is in shambles right now. Yeah. Sirianni has the keys to a fucking Lamborghini, and he is repeatedly finding the orange barrels. He is repeatedly ramming it into oncoming traffic. This team is 3-2. Those 2 losses he shouldn't have lost.
Right.
But we are talking about the New York Giants, who are just absolutely dog water. 3 points is they'll cover it and then some. I hope Saquon just absolutely runs all over those boys, because again, he's on my fantasy league team. Give me the Eagles by 10. Multiple score game.
Really? I mean, I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna go with the Giants. They're at home. I say the Giants win by 3.
Okay.
Trouble still lies in Philadelphia.
Next up, we have another 1:00 game on Fox. It's the Seattle Seahawks travel to a very hot ATL to take on the Falcons. Atlanta's 3-point favorites. The way they're playing very good. And Seattle's just making a lot of stupid mistakes with the first-year head coach. Give me the Atlanta at home. I think that's a safe pick to make. Kirk Cousins playing very good. Kyle Pitts is finally showing up. I think they're definitely trending forward. But yeah, Falcons by 10.
Yeah, I take the Falcons too. Easy.
Next up is the 2 worst teams in the AFC North division. We have the Bengals from Cincinnati traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns, who are absolutely the worst team in all of football. We got 1:00 on CBS, the Bengals Browns. Cincinnati's a 5.5-point favorite on that one. This game means nothing to me. I can give a shit less about this game. I'm going to go the Bengals. Bengals cover. They win by 14. Cleveland's awful. Cleveland is absolutely awful.
I mean, Nick Chubbs is coming back for this week for the Cleveland Browns. Burrow is gonna get there. I'm gonna go. They're gonna beat the Bengals, Cleveland Browns by 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Next up, we have another even match. We have Indianapolis playing host to the Dolphins. 2 teams that really, their quarterback situation, that quarterback room for both of them teams are absolutely just a hot mess. Indianapolis is 3-point favorites. Tack another 7 on that. I think you got the right idea. I think the Colts win by 10.
That's at Indianapolis too, huh? What's the Dolphins' record?
2-3.
Colts are 3-3, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I got to go with the Horseshoes. I got to go with the Colts.
Next up, we have the 4:00 game. The Panthers traveling to a very good Commanders team. Washington's just about a 10-point favorite. How about you double that and they win by 20?
Yeah,
The
easy.
Panthers.
Yeah,
The Panthers suck.
yeah. We're just Washington Commanders all day.
Next up, we have two very bad teams from the western side of the country. We have the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. The Rams are 7-point favorites on that. The Raiders just traded away Devontae Adams. There's rumors that they're going to trade Max Crosby. They're looking to just sell at this point. Give me the Rams. I think the Rams win by 7, possibly 14. The Raiders are just that's a mess. That's a dumpster fire out in Las Vegas right now. Sorry, Sean, if you're watching this, but your boys are just that's a hot mess there.
Yeah, I want to Rams. Yeah, absolutely,
100%. The next 4:30 game, we have a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. The 5-0 Chiefs go to San Francisco to take on the 3-3 49ers. And San Francisco is 2-point favorites to win that ball game.
I hate to do this, Barrow, but I'm not. I have never been a Chiefs fan. I'm not saying they're not good because they are. I mean, that's just facts. That's a hard one for me because I'm not a 49ers fan, but I'm going to take the Niners. Got to represent. Got to NOI family bloodline. They're all Niners fans. Let's go Niners.
This is the first time. There's a first time for everything, isn't it? Like you always say, there's a first time. There's always a first for everything. It could be a first time for me to say that the Chiefs lose. Could happen, but it's not going to happen here. The Chiefs win by a field goal. They people make fun of me because, well, they should win by more than a field goal. They should win by more than 7 points. These squeaky wins, these sneaky wins, they're not showing their dominance on how good they really are. I hear it a lot. But the difference between good and great teams is great teams find ways to win. And that's what Kansas City does. Kansas City will win. They will find a way to win this game because I just don't know as if a San Francisco 49er team without Christian McCaffrey in the lineup can beat a team as explosive as Kansas City. CMC in the lineup, that's a different story. If CMC was in the lineup and they play, I think the 49ers would win. But without him in the lineup, I think we're able to contain Brock Purdy and make things happen. Again, I'm picking Kansas City.
Okay.
3 more games left to pick, everybody. Just when we're gonna duck out. Then the Sunday night game. The Jets to 2-4 with the newly added wide receiver Devontae Adams to the mix for the Jets. Travel to Pittsburgh to Heinz Field to take on the 4-2 Steelers with not sure who the quarterback is. Is it Russ? Is it Justin Jefferson? They're both taking first team snaps again because Russ is back from his injury. New Jersey's 2-point favorites.
I mean, you got Rodgers, you got Devontae Adams. You said,
yeah,
that's a no-brainer. I'm picking the Jets. The Jets by 10.
At first glance, I would say the Jets. At first glance. And it's not because growing up was a Steelers fan, but I'm going to go Pittsburgh. Only because adding a Devontae Adams style of player, yes, him and Aaron played together in Green Bay, but it's they've been apart for, 2 years now? Yeah, 2.5 years. Yep. I just don't think. I think it takes more than 4 to 5 days to get acclimated to an offense. So I'm going to say in a very tight game, the Steelers win because of their defense, and they're at home. I think they win by 7. Now we have the 2 Monday night games, and then our thank yous and goodbyes. We have the Ravens traveling to Tampa. Both teams are 4-2. That game's at 8:15. Baltimore's 3.5-point favorites on that. And Heel Kevin, I got you, bro. I think the Ravens destroy Baker Mayfield and Tampa. I think they win. Their defense is starting to really click, and they win by 10.
Wrong. Good old boy Baker Mayfield, man. Sorry, Kevin. Matt's wrong. Baker Mayfield at home wins by 10.
And the last, but certainly not least it's two Western teams that have middle of the road records. We have the LA Chargers traveling to Arizona with a 2-point favorite to win. Chargers are 2-point favorites. Coach Harbaugh, I got to go with the Bolts on the road.
Yep. Easy.
Sorry for the rapidness of the NFL stuff, everybody. But we have going forward. This is going to be our Fridays again, football Fridays, and we're just going to keep going with this, along with Scott's show on Tuesday with his boys Rico and Nikki D and Cody, who's always in the chat. He's our producer, and thank you for everything that you guys do. I got it. I'm going to slowly start putting together a Tuesday, Wednesday or Tuesday.
Let me say, I don't know, Tuesday. I thought.
I'm slowly. Once football season's over with, so in January, that's when I'm going to really ramp that one up. And we're going to really get it going again, talking about football. A couple things we're looking at coming down the stretch of 2024. The year is, we're staring down the barrel of the last 10 weeks of the year, right? So we got 10 weeks of 2024 that's left on this show. We're looking, for our wrestling shows, we're going to have a year-end thing sometime in December. We're going to be doing stuff like that. We got special guests coming in November and December, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully. But just thank you for everyone who comes in here and our other shows and shows us the support. We appreciate you all. We love you all. And that's all I really have for the thank yous and the to-dos.
Right. So show announcement. Unfortunately, there will be no show Saturday. Our guest had to cancel. He just had surgery. I don't even want to. I'm not even going to throw another name out, a date out there until I'm on the show. It'll be a shocker. It'll be a surprise, I guess. What I'm saying. But that's how it rolls when in the business of doing podcasts, you know. So
roll with the punches and keep on moving forward.
Yeah. So we will be live, like Matt said, Tuesday for our show. You guys will have to tune in. We have lots of fun on those shows. The next Tuesday after that, I think my brother's going to be on the show because I won't be on the show. I'll be traveling. I might pop in to see if they're representing all right. So, you know, but I'm sure my brother will do just fine.
So what it really comes down to is I have to step in because I've watched the last 5 episodes.
Here we go.
And I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say this right now. I have to teach. This is a teachable moment. I have to teach certain people on that show and make sure that they understand that I am better than you, and you know it. So. Not you, Scotty, of course, because, you know.
I'm trying to figure out why Cody Cornette is trying to tell me what the topic of
that's what I'm saying. I have to, as half owner of the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast and EVP, have to step in and say, what's up?
I'm not sure if this topic is what I want to talk about on Tuesdays. Let's throw this up here. He wants to talk about the worst gimmick in professional wrestling. I don't know.
You know what the worst gimmick in podcasting is? Calling yourself Cody Cornette. We'll have that discussion on the 29th. How about that? Anyway. Thank you all for joining. Even the douche canoe in the chat that calls him Cody Cornette. We love you all. And just remember
be good.
That it's not on there anymore. We'll see you next week. Oh.